Stitch has got a cocaine problem. It looks like it's that time of year again. Good morning, guys. It is day 105. It is Thursday. I am tired, but I feel better than I did yesterday, so that's a plus. As you could tell from the beginning of the video, we are having our first snow of the season. I'm torn on winter. I used to love it as a child. And not just, because of time off of school and all that and Christmas. I just loved it in general. I liked going out and playing in the snow. The apartment complex that my mom and I used to live in before she married my stepdad, whenever they would plow the parking lots, we would get these giant hills that we could tunnel through. We tunneled through it. And thinking back on it, it was extremely dangerous. If one of those had collapsed on a child, it would be all over. But at the time, it was fun as hell, man. We'd have little wars, and we'd have our little bunkers and trenches dug out in the snow. I mean, it was a blast. But as I got older and as I got heavier and had more problems with my body, I began to hate winter more. Not because the cold really bothers me, because it doesn't. I'm very resistant to the cold because I have layers of fat, but because it is difficult for me to walk when the ground is slippery and icy. Even just a little slip, even if I don't fall down, I could still throw, I'd hurt my knee or hurt my back just so easily. Just with the tiniest slip. Even if I caught myself and didn't fall, I'd be sore for the next 2 days. And that leads us to yet another reason why the 365-day challenge is such a good thing. Excuse me. Because, with the more weight that I lose, hopefully, and the more mobile that I become, the better able I will be to handle that kind of situation. Heading to work here in a little bit as soon as my mom gets out here. Hoping that they don't cut us loose early today, but we'll see what happens. I'm not getting my heart set on either end of the spectrum. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, that's great, So yeah, just about to go greet the day. I will talk to you guys a bit later. We'll see what's going on at that point. What's up, guys? It is freaking cold. So I'm out in my car. I am getting ready to head to the gym. It is freezing out here. Hopefully this heat kicks in pretty quick. Work was kind of a circus today. So I got in there and I go to log into the computer and it won't take my password. And I try again. It won't take my password. And now I'm starting to freak out because I don't want to get locked out and have to deal with, not being able to get logged in on time and all that crap. So I go and I talk to my manager and I'm like, hey, how many times does it take to get locked out? And she's like, 3. I'm like, oh, well, crap. I just tried twice. I'm on the 3rd try. It's not taking my password. And she's just like, well, you'll have to call the help desk, blah, 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 blah. Really didn't want to deal with calling the help desk. Luckily, I didn't have to. The reason being, turns out no one could get in. Not in Allen Park here, not in Nashville, not wherever the hell else they have call centers. Nobody could get in. So we sat around for about an hour. At one point, they had us manually log into the phone, We couldn't get into the computer, but they had us manually log into the phone so that we could take calls to tell people that our system was down, so that they weren't sitting in queue with no one on the line to get to them. I took one call like that, and then they came back around and said, nope, never mind, go back into system issues. So we sat around in system issues for like an hour. It was 9 o'clock before we finally were able to get logged into the computers. And even after we finally got logged into the computers, the calls were still, 5-10 minutes apart. Yet for some reason, at like 9:40, even though there was such a long lag between calls, they put us in code red, which means they canceled our breaks. And that's what they usually is reserved for when the call volume is really high and they need everybody, on the phone, all hands on deck. That is generally the procedure. So they had us in code red, even though we were not in the slightest bit busy. And train of thought derailed. So code red, yeah, they had us in code red, even though we're not busy, canceled our breaks. They don't change it till about lunchtime, at which point, instead of an hour lunch, they gave us a half-hour lunch, and we're still, 10 minutes between calls. Generally, when it's like that, they extend our lunch to an hour so that they don't have to pay us for being on the phones when we're not taking calls. So, made no sense to me. Like 5 minutes after I left for lunch, I heard that they had just sent out an email asking for volunteers to go home. So I guess they sent home whoever volunteered, and that was enough for them, because they didn't end up sending us home, even though the rest of the day was literally 10 minutes between calls the entire time. But hey, whatever. I got in a full day of work and didn't have to work the first hour, technically. It's fine with me. But yeah, it was kind of ridiculous. Anyway, I am heading to the gym now. I will talk to you guys a bit later, and hopefully my back doesn't bug me too much, because it was bugging me at work today big time. So I'm hoping that it is not how it was the other night. I'll talk to you guys a bit later. What's up, guys? So we are coming up on the end of what would be a half hour on the treadmill at 2 miles an hour. This was after doing 3 sets of 10 minutes at 3 miles an hour. So I will have been on this treadmill for a total of an hour tonight. I also spliced in some weight bench workouts. I did 3 sets of 25 on 3 of the weight benches back there that I use. My arms are feeling like jello. My back is really hurting tonight. And if that wasn't enough, I decided to torture myself by turning on The Biggest Loser. And the reason I say torturing myself is because I see these guys and they are doing, I feel proud about what I've been doing over the last 3 months. But I see these people and they are just so much better physically than I am. Now, granted, they're all ex-athletes, but it's like my back has so many problems with it that I cannot do half of the stuff that they do because I just don't have the mobility. I don't have the range of motion to do a lot of these really intense workouts. And I really wish that would change soon, I'm praying for it. I'm hoping for it. I'm hoping now that I'm using the weight benches that I'll strengthen up my back muscles. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I got 6.5 minutes to go, and then I am done for tonight. I'm going to go get my mom. I'm going to go home, and I'm going to pass out.
Well, after I take a shower, then I'm going to pass out. Anyway, I will talk to you guys tomorrow. This will be my sign off for the evening. I apologize if it's hard to see me with the glare of the light behind me shining off my glasses and everything. Back at it tomorrow, though. Talk to you guys later.